to dive a little bit into the Morrigan, or the Morrigu. She is considered a goddess of the Tuatha De Danann. She stands in between the worlds, both physically and spiritually, and her time, in my mind, is dusk, as she embodies the liminal space, the threshold time. And as I was preparing this, I thought, and perhaps that is the time that we are currently living in, maybe even more so with the loss of Bill. In any case, her name can be translated or interpreted to mean the Great Queen or the Battle Queen, a death or phantom queen in a nightmarish type of way, but also as Great Mother. That I will explain a bit better later. It seems to me that in the name, the Morrigan, could in fact be an honorary title as representing an aspect of the great goddess. On an energetic, feely type of level, she reminds me a bit of the Hindu goddess Kali, who is also a multiple goddess as one of the Mahavidyas. And of course, she reminds me also of the Nordic Germanic Freya, which is in fact also a title because it means great lady. So Freya is a similar type of name. It's not really a name. It means it is a title. And Freya originally was the great goddess of the Vanir, the very old European gods before the Aesir ever came along. The nomadic peoples from the east invaded. Like Freya with her Valkyries, the Morrigan appears on the eve of battle, prophesying, or during battle, using battle magic, or at the moment of death, providing guidance towards the afterlife or the death dimensions, as was mentioned by one of us previously. She helps guide the dead person to the next stage, the transition. They say that the Morrigan can appear as various goddesses. I mentioned Bav, Maka, Nevan, and Anand. Or, I wonder, is it the other way around? Do these various goddesses take on the role of the Morrigan when they act as a death or battle or destiny goddess? There are many ways to look at this, different ways of experiencing this. But let me start with Bav. She can appear as a crow or a black bird, as you can see, causing fear and confusion among soldiers. And she, in this way, can move the tide of the battle to her favorite side. She's seen as an omen of war. She flies above the battlefield and shrieks prophecies of doom and victory. She also appears in the form of a maiden called the Washer at the Ford. And as this young maiden, she is at the river washing the bloody armor and gory garments of those who are about to die in battle, as an omen, as a foreseeing. Then there is another form, Nevan. She's the wife of a martial god, or Neith. And as such, she is a warrior, a changer, a destroyer, a decider of fates. And in her marriage, we can consider her symbolically married to battle, married to war. Her stories show that also she has the power to rain terror and confusion down on entire armies. Confusion and chaos, of course, being typical feminine divine forces, but in this way, in a very warlike form. Then, of course, Maka, as we discussed her last week, she represents sovereignty and power, but is also a warrior goddess. The harvest of Maka is said to refer to the severed heads of her enemies on the battlefields. Now, this completely reminded me of Kali, if you know her visual representation with her garland of skulls. As you know, Maka also has a connection to motherhood, childbirth, horses, and it is through these associations that the Morrigan herself is sometimes referred to as a fertility goddess. Then I get to Anand, which in my eyes is the goddess that best represents the Morrigan as an older and deeper strata of the great goddess, as a great mother. And this is not a sugary, sweet, pink type of mother. This is a fierce mother. Fierceness is the core energy of this great goddess. Think of a mother bear and how she cares and protects her cubs. This type of fierce love was highly important for our ancestors, particularly our foremothers, as I believe few children would have been able to survive without it. So, as mentioned earlier, Kali Ma, Kali Mother, has the very same energy. She's fierce. It's a mother with tough love, and she does not tolerate bullshit of any kind. She deals with matters of life and death, and there are no frills. When you accept the help of the great goddess, she cleanses with fire. There is no gradual, subtle process. It is deeply transformational, and she strips away all ego-based structures and false safety narratives that we like to tell ourselves. A good example of this is the mythology story of the encounter between the Morrigan and the hero Cuchulainn. She, in this story, appears as a young maiden, beautiful, and Cuchulainn is in trouble. She offers her help, but he refuses to accept that help out of what appears to be a type of macho pride. In any case, the rejected Morrigan then says, I shall go in the form of an eel under your feet in the ford, so you shall fall. I shall drive the cattle over the ford to you, while I am in the form of a gray she-wolf. And also, I shall come to you in the guise of a hornless red heifer in front of the cattle, and they will rush upon you at many fords and pools, yet you will not see me. So, what is going on here? She's a shapeshifter, of course, which makes sense that because she has several shamanic functions, but also she says, if you do not willingly accept my help, I will come to you in a different guise. You will not see me, you will not recognize me until it is too late. I am your doom. Like all death goddesses, she offers the hero a chance to transform, to die and be reborn. But what dies and what is reborn? In any case, Cuchulainn refuses the Morrigan's help. Like a typical Hercules, he goes throughout his life He consistently chooses his pride, his reputation, over deeper transformation. He dismisses the opportunity for development, he leaves his true love, and he kills his true son. In fact, I believe that as a result of his consistent rejection to walk in the liminal spaces and let go of his ego concerns, he ends up killing his true self.